When it comes to your will and your estate, you might leave it up to the professionals. You might have a financial planner or an attorney give you some expert advice, but who would have thought James Gandolfini could teach you about your will and taxes? See what not to do.
This is WFMY News 2 with Frank Mickens and Julie Luck at 5 p.m.
Millions knew him as Tony Soprano. James Gandolfini died of a heart attack last month in Italy. But recently, financial experts say there is one thing we all should not do like Gandolfini did, and that is form a will like he did. I'm joined now by Cheryl David with the law offices of Cheryl David. Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Okay, according to one financial news source, Gandolfini's will was written in a way that estate planning experts say skipped many options of minimizing the tax bill. So what do you think Mr. Gandolfini did incorrectly, and what can we learn from the situation?
Well, Julie, he lost $30 million of his $70 million estate to estate taxes. And he used a will so everything became public. If he had used something called a revocable trust, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We wouldn't know the size of his estate, and possibly he wouldn't have lost all of that money.
So this is an eye-opener that we can actually learn from these mistakes. And, you know, Mr. Gandolfini, fairly young when he had this heart attack, this is a realization for all of us that we actually should have a will, but also see a professional to get the best sound advice.
That's so true. A lot of my clients are older, but if I could only get the younger clients to come in and do something, because when you've got young kids, young families like Mr. Gandolfini, I have a little trouble with that name, we have to provide for them. We have to have the right documentation. If not, a lot of the times the kids are cut out.
All right, so get some expert advice. Okay, what priorities come before taxes when forming a will?
When forming a will, each family's individual. You want to know what's important. Is it taking care of your spouse? Is it taking care of your kids? James left 80% of his estate to his sisters and his young daughter, 20% to his wife. If he had left the whole thing to his wife, there would have been no estate taxes. Maybe he had his own reasons for doing that. He had a son from another marriage. But it's just important to sit down with the attorney. Every different family is different. Specific things that we can do when we understand the case.
So have that open dialogue.
Absolutely.
Also, North Carolina in the process of changing its tax program, which includes repealing the estate tax. So what does this mean? How could our viewers be impacted by this?
Well, North Carolina has repealed estate tax. So if you owe taxes at death, you will only owe them to the federal government, not to the state of North Carolina. So I think it's a happy day for North Carolinians.
All right, Nastia, thank you so much for your expertise. It's one of these things that is tough to talk about, but something we all should be thinking about at some point in our lives.
Thank you.
Ms. David, thank you so much.